Hey guys, it's Brendan Mayer with Whitetail Logic. Today I want to give you a quick update on our interseeding corn experiment we're doing on our property this year. And I very well think that this could be one of the best food plot mixes that you can implement on your property. The amount of diversity, cover, and soil health properties that this method right here gives you is absolutely amazing. It's going to give a lot more landowners the opportunity to plant corn because in the past, corn was a product that I didn't recommend very often because it takes a lot of ground in order to plant enough of it to last the entire season and actually benefit and influence your deer for the entire season. And at the end of the day, corn does not give deer the nutritional requirements that they need in order to live their day-to-day life. And if you're not giving your deer the nutritional requirements that they need, then they're going to go elsewhere to find those requirements. And really, at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is influence our deer herd. So what that means is we need to be holding them on our property for as long as possible. So by going in here and interseeding in and throughout this corn, it has given this plot right here a bunch of diversity. It's increased our overall biomass and forage that we're giving our deer. And it's going to make sure that they have, again, all the nutritional requirements that they need going into the harsh winter months. As this corn, starts to brown up, and as deer are starting to transition into a high energy, high carbohydrate diet, they will come in here and start hitting this corn quite hard. And usually that takes place towards the end of October and into November. Obviously, as they're in here, they are also going to be able to get a bunch of greens that are high in moisture and other sort of nutritional requirements that they need. This has worked out absolutely perfect. It's something that we're going to keep doing on our farm year in and year out now because of the benefits that it gives our deer and our soil. Corn is extremely hard on the soil. It takes a lot of nutrients. It takes a lot of good quality soil in order to grow good quality corn. So what we're doing by coming in here and interseeding this and making sure we have the majority of the cover soil or the majority of the soil covered, we are holding nutrients in this soil. Most of the time in a normal conventional style planting of corn, what would happen is this would be again planted sometime in May or sometime in the spring, followed up by several glyphosate sprayings. So what we're really doing at that point in time is we're leaving the majority of the soil exposed, which leads to many, many issues. So what we're doing by coming in here and interseeding this, we are now having a growing crop in and throughout this corn. And a lot of these products in here are actually legumes that are going to be fixing nitrogen out of the soil and making it plant available for the corn to, again, take up and use. So at the end of the day, we're saving money on fertilizer. We're increasing the overall biomass, and we're going to actually have a product in here that can overwinter. We've got a bunch of chicory, we've got some crimson clover, we've got a bunch of products in here that are again going to give those deer some sort of food during the spring after the harsh winter months. And that is extremely important to fill that void and fill that gap for your deer herd in order to have the optimal antler potential for the following season. It's very important to understand how deer grow and where they store their energy and where they put their nutrients towards. Antlers are the last resort, the least of their worries when trying to actually survive. Obviously, they're going to take care of their body first and their antlers second. So in order to grow their antlers, you need to give them an exponential amount of food and forage and nutrients. You need to give them a surplus so then they can use that surplus to grow their antlers. We are making sure that we're giving them a surplus all year round. That at the end of the day, that is how you're going to be able to grow your deer herd, grow your antlers and your quality of bucks on your property. And interseeding corn is a way that you can do that. And it's something we're going to do on our property and something I'm going to recommend to most every client that I go to because of the benefits that we've seen in and throughout this stand of corn behind me. So if we look down here, I mean, we have a ton of crops growing. Obviously, we got a purple top turnip here. So this is going to be a really, really high quality winter forage. Again, this is high in carbohydrates. They tend to hit it later in the season after a couple frosts, not because of the sugar content in it, not because it's increasing in sugar content, because that's been proven to not be true. The reasoning that they are again transitioning into this and eating this purple top turnip later in the season is because they're changing their nutritional requirements. They're going from a high protein diet where they're trying to grow their antlers and grow their body sizes to later in the winter, or sorry, early winter, they're trying to store on that fat, store on that energy, to again to survive and stay warm throughout those harsh winter months. That is the reason they're going to be switching to corn, and a lot of these brassicas at that time of year. So we've got a purple top turnip in here. We've got a little bit of buckwheat, which at this point in time is just really benefiting the soil. We got still a bunch of purple top turnip in here. Um, we've got some chicory right here, which is again just a really high quality plant the deer absolutely love. I know there's some rape in and throughout here. There's also some radish, crimson clover as well. That was another product we planted. Really, what I want you guys to understand here is not only have we just grown high quality corn that is doing very well. This is actually not our best stuff. Not too far from here, we've got stuff that's reaching in excess of 9 foot. Most of them have 2 ears coming off. Several have three. So this is doing very well. And there's no downside to doing this. There's really no downside whatsoever. In the long term, what we're doing is we're increasing the quality of our soils by having a growing plant on it. Each one of these plants that are growing right here, it has a different nutritional requirement and different nutrients it takes out of the soil. You need to think of all these plants as actually mining the soil. They're mining for different nutrients, and then they are bringing them up into their foliage. And at that point in time, if they're not eaten by the deer, they're then going to die and decay and actually bring those nutrients right back to the soil. So it's just the process. It's never ending. So what's not used by the deer is going to be directly used by our following next crop. So interseeding corn, I think it's can really benefit your property. I'm going to again recommend it to most of my clients, and this right here is definitely one of the best food plots I think anybody could plant on their property for this fall.